All right, with that means it is time to play ball here in Clayton. Again, apologies for the connectivity issues. We hopefully got it fixed. We're monitoring the situation. Hopefully the internet doesn't fall out on us again, because that messed up our pregame show. But we'll run down these teams one more time. You know, both of them 5-4 record. They've got very, very nice assets on their squad, and what's different between these two teams is that one of them made the playoffs, one didn't, but Pitman started off the year 1-4 and then stormed back at the end of the season to have a nice late season consolation, if you will. They played a couple of makeup games in this November month, and with that, our last football game of the 2023 season is set to get underway.
As we look here, looking at these past records for both of these teams, especially looking at Pitman, having an up and down season like they have, having a big time 62-0 loss and then storming back from that. So we've been seeing big time changes as, like I said, they stormed back from a 62-0 loss. The game they played next against Maple Shade was a big win the next week. These teams, it's really going to be a dogfight here. It's going to be an interesting game, and what's better than seeing an interesting game on Thanksgiving? Nothing like it.
For the 98th year, from 2023 to 1925, we are underway as the kickoff is received on a couple hops by Clayton. Number 6 on the carry gets it and steps out at his own 40. Great return there by, again, the Clippers. Number 6, that being Demetrius Williams. And this is where Clayton will start their first drive of the morning.
Clipper 38-yard line where Clayton will take over 1st and 10.
But as we said, two teams with the same record, same identity. They'll start the drive, the opening drive of the night, from their own 38. And we're going to have time called here, official timeout. So Clayton starts their drive on their on their own 38 after the nice return by Williams. Here comes the rush by Isaac Taylor. He gets about 6 yards on it, and it'll be second down.
Number 5, Ike Taylor on the carry for the Clippers.
But Pitman this year, 5-4. Under the leadership of head coach Chris Thomas, the 2005 West Virginia Mountaineers grad. Again, they started off the year 1-4. They lost to Shalleck and Cumberland in weeks 1 and 2. They beat Buna 41-0 in their home opener, but then they lost 2 in a row at home to Riverside and to Lower Cape May. But now they've had 4 straight wins this year, beating Gateway and Pennsville to close out the regular season, Collingswood and Haddon Township in NJSIAA crossover games, as that rush by Taylor is enough for a Clipper first down. Clayton hasn't had any consolation games. This is actually their first game in almost a month. The last time they played was October 27th versus the Shore Blue Devils in a game that they lost 14-0. But Clayton's season was a little bit different. They started off 3-0 instead of 1-4, beating Kip Cooper 34-12, Lower Cape May 26-21, in what was a back-and-forth game to say the least. Buna 41-7, and then they lost 3 in a row. Middle Township 45-16, Glassboro 16-8. That was the game that we live-streamed on the 29th of September. And then a 62-0 loss on the road to Pleasantville. Here comes a rush down the far sideline. I think that one just got short of the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. But then, as you said, Vince, they stormed back with that 44-14 win over Maple Shade. I mean, Maple Shade isn't the strongest team out there. They were 2-7 this year, so beating them by 30 was a good response. But then that 40-14 win over Cumberland was good as well. And again, that first round loss in the playoffs obviously hurts, but you got to wonder for Clayton. They've been practicing for over a month, or almost a month, since it's been 4 days shy of October 27th, the last time they played a game. Williams up the middle. And that's what I like about these, crossover games is that, it's kind of like a makeup for these guys to get ready. Even if they're out of the playoffs, even if they're out of state championship contention, they're still doing their darn best. They're still trying with their best efforts to get into a good situation, to get into a good position. Just tuning in, still very early here in Clayton, no score, with the Clippers on their first drive of the night. Ike Taylor barging through, gets it to the 42. It's either just short or it is a first down, but we'll see where they mark it here. It will be short, so right at the 42, that's where Clayton will set up for a 4th and short. They've got one more chance.
It is now 4th and 1 for the Clippers.
See what they can grab here. They get it up the middle to Taylor. I think he got it. And in fact, he did. That's a first down, Clayton.
Taylor rushing for a first down for the Clippers.
Hey, you don't need much. All you need is enough to move those sticks across, and that's exactly what they did right there. Just got it done when you needed it to. Obviously, you want to convert on a first down. You want to convert when your back's not against the wall. 4th and 1, obviously, is not the easiest situation to get across, but the fact that they did it, they've got a chance for another couple of yards here with a rush, with a flag in the back. After the rush by number 4, Jordan Barfield. It's going to be against the offense.
Barfield on the carry. There's a flag on the field.
And there is a Pitman player down here. So that's going to stop the clock with 8:06 to play in the first. Clutching onto his leg there, that's Chase Rollins, the senior, number 11. Chris Thomas, the head coach out there, along with the athletic trainer, Jennifer Smith. Pitman led by head coach Chris Thomas, as we said. A special education teacher at Pitman, graduated from West Virginia University in 2005. So yeah, by the way, that was a holding call against the offense. So it'll be 1st and 20 from the 50. So Rollins gets some help off the field, and Pitman will be a man short for at least a couple of plays. Pitman's assistants, Guy Davidson, Jim McCabe, Mike Plagianakos, Jim Rizzolo, Jeff Smith, and John Weisburn, also led by managers Jay Craig, Colette Rollins, Ava Taylor, and Anna Wisniewski, and statistician Aubrey Yordy. First and 20 from the 50 after the holding call. Clayton's going to try to get some leverage back after the setback. Here comes a rush by Williams, and in fact, he's going to get a couple yards lost on that play, and it's going to set up 2nd and long. Big tackle there by the Panther defense with number 51, Ethan Loudner, the 6'1" senior. That will bring up 2nd and 21 as a result of forward progress. They only knocked off 1 yard off that play. First down marker is all the way at the other 30. And they are lined up from their own 49, so they've got a long way to go before they can move those chains. This is the 3rd set of downs this drive for the Clippers, and we've almost used up half the time in the first quarter. They've been moving slowly but surely, but we'll see how they can get out of this jam. With Ian Gannon under center. And hold on here. Delay of game on the offense. So that will knock him back 5 yards. And that will now make it 2nd and 26 from the 44. Well, you don't see this every day. This is a very steep hill that they have to climb. It's not like they can't do it, but it's going to be very difficult to get there. Second and 26 from their own 44. Gannon, handoff to Taylor. He's going to get some room. Devaney and a host of Panthers take him down, but it gets them within 10 yards of a first.
You're back to where you were.
Yeah, you're back to the drawing board. You're back to where you started. It's 3rd and 10. Treat it like 2 incompletions, you know? But after being down 2nd and 26, you know, that's a big play right there. That's a bit of a sigh of relief. You don't want to give the ball away on your first drive. You always want to make a statement early. And that's what Clayton's doing right now. They're showing that they can drive the ball efficiently with the ground game, especially with that combo of Barfield, Taylor, and Demetrius Williams. But it's 3rd and 10 from the 40. Handoff to Williams. He breaks free. He's got a first down and then some. Touchdown, Clippers! A 40-yard rushing touchdown for Demetrius Williams, and the Clippers are on the board first. Talk about making a statement. It's exactly what they just did right there. And they'll go for the extra point. It is Tala Yagmerkaya to kick. Isaac Taylor to hold with 5:57 to play in the first to make it 7-6 or 7-0, excuse me. Yagmerkama gets the snap up away and on a high arc, it's good. 5:57 to play in the first, and Clayton is the first on the board. 7-0. We'll be right back. Clayton gets first blood with a 40-yard rushing touchdown by Demetrius Williams, and now Pitman will have their first opportunity at an offensive drive here as number 7, Mikael Robertson, the sophomore, will send this one away as Clayton is the first to strike on Thanksgiving. Gets the kick off. Oh, it gets bobbled. Picked up at the 30 by the white and orange. Driving through, it's Chase Rollins. He gets past the 50, and he is going to be marked down at the 43 on a huge kick return by the visitors. And now Pitman will have prime field position to start their first drive. Well, it's kind of a gut punch when you give up a big touchdown like that to Demetrius Williams or to anybody. But being able to respond in a big way with that kick return is going to set them up in a great position. But remember, Clayton is one of these teams that's been able to fight with the best. When they played Glassboro, they only lost 16-8. They gave up that last 8-point touchdown with the last 4 minutes in the game. Kyle Kubat gets the first handoff to Stephen Devaney. A senior-to-senior duo right there, as that's going to set up second down and about 6 after the gain to the 37. For those just tuning in, you're watching coverage of Thanksgiving football, our 23rd and final game of the 2023 campaign here on DWB between the Pitman Panthers and the Clayton Clippers. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. You can also find that in the description of this video, and that is an offsides, clear as day. Yeah, I don't think you get a jump from the entire defensive line that blatant. And they got the snap, so it looked like they were going to get away with it for a second, but I knew no competent official in the world would let that fly. So that'll be enough to move the change for a Panther first down from the 33. But Kyle Kubat, the senior quarterback, had 5 passing touchdowns versus Pennsville when we covered them for the fan vote game on October the 20th versus the Eagles. Here comes the handoff, and diving is Chase Rollins. I don't know if he got caught up in something, but he'll maybe get a yard or two on the rush by Rollins again, who had that big kick return after the ball was muffed. He picked it up at his own 30 and returned it a good, I want to say 40 yards to the opposing 40. But after the rush, it's now 2nd and 8. From the 32, they roll out to the left, handoff to Trey Tinges. And that'll get them to the 30 and a little bit past that, and it'll be 3rd down. I mean, hey, Pitman, they had a statement made against them from the home side. Now it's time for them to strike back. You know, they want to have that opportunity in their hands, and you certainly don't want to waste an opportunity down here. Devaney drive through, gets it to the 20, and that'll be enough for a Pitman first down. You know, the last couple times we've seen these games 20-14, 14-8, 13-12 in 2020. Before then, Clayton was winning pretty handily every year, but these two teams, they seem to have prolific offenses this year, especially with Kubat in the shotgun there. Oh, and I thought they got Clayton to jump, but no flag. They'll keep the play alive here on 1st and 10. Handoff to Tinges. Gets about 3 yards. 2nd and 7. With now under 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's going by quickly. Compared to what we saw with Gloucester Catholic and Collingswood last week. 2-hour and 50-minute game. Oh, that was crazy. 2 longest broadcasts that we've had this football season was Gloucester Catholic and Palmyra and Gloucester Catholic and Collingswood. First one was 3 hours and 19 minutes. Kubat drops back, gets ready to fly to Devaney. Touchdown, Pitman. Stephen Devaney levels the game here in the first quarter with a touchdown of his own. And the touchdown from inside the red zone makes it 7-6 with an opportunity to knot it up at 7 apiece. Headed towards the Clayton Fieldhouse down there. Kubat going back-to-back with Chris Thomas. And we'll get ready to send this one away for a chance to tie the game. Number 13, Hudson Rue, to send this one away. It is up and on a low angle. It is headed for the parking lot. 2 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It is Pitman 7, Clayton 7, with a high score in first quarter. We'll be right back. Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. Kyle Kubat found Stephen Devaney in the end zone to tie this game up at 7. We've got some great Thanksgiving games on the slate this morning. We've got Audubon and Haddon Township starting at 11 a.m. There's Haddonfield and Haddon Heights in their annual 94 WIP Turkey Bowl, as here comes a kick by Hudson Rue. It's taken into the 25 by Williams. Or no, excuse me, that is, oh wow, big hit at the 40. So Jordan Barfield on the return gives Clippers a decent position to start their second drive. They're 1 for 1 in this one. They had a 40-yard rushing touchdown midway through the first, thanks to Demetrius Williams breaking free from the Pitman secondary. And now the tables are turned and the ball is back in their court. First and 10 to start the drive from their own 39. Handoff to Williams, who had that touchdown earlier. He's got room down the near sideline, and man, what a big hit there. And coming up a little gingerly is Loudner, but in on that play as well was Porter Kostiak. And that will be enough for a Clipper first down, as the rush by Williams is enough to move the sticks. They'll now line it up on the midfield 50. Here from Houtfield in Clayton. Across the street is Clayton High School. Down there in the far distance. Of course, we couldn't see it the last time we covered a game here since it was in the middle of the evening. But a beautiful field on a beautiful day here on this Thursday morning. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody here from DWB. That one makes it for 5 yards on the rush by Ike Taylor. And it's 2nd and 5. Luckily, I have not had to host Thanksgiving in at least 10 years. Or at least my family. But going to see the grandparents up in Yardville in Mercer County this afternoon. I hope all of you have a wonderful time with your family members. Chow down on some turkey, even though I'm not a turkey connoisseur myself. But although Vince, you're having a turducken this year, yes, the turkey, duck, and chicken Frankenstein's monster. Here comes the rush up the middle by Taylor. That'll be short. 3rd down.
We have now been a food channel, folks.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that last night when the game got out of hand a little bit. We were kind of talking about Thanksgiving traditions and everything like that. You know, this is the start of the holiday season. You know, the snow's going to start coming down. My Christmas boxes came down from the attic yesterday. It's a wonderful time of the year. But yeah, it's hours and hours and hours of putting those ornaments up on the tree. It's that time of year. But it's time for Clayton to convert on a 3rd down here as it goes to Ike Taylor, who's going to get it across. It goes to the 38, and it is plenty good for a Clipper first down. Clayton led by John Chamberlain III, their head coach, and Williamstown High School grad of 2014, with Ponce Tinkham, Paul Flagg, Mark Gonzalez, Nick Chamberlain, Mike Stalba, Jake Chamberlain, and Brandon Wright as the assistant coaches. The AD, Mr. Dan Antonelli, and the athletic trainer, Sarah Campbell, along with school doctor, Dr. Robert Provencher. Here comes the rush up the middle, and that gets stopped around 36 for a gain of a few at 2nd down, with now 30 seconds to play in the first. They'll probably have time for one more play as the Clippers break from the huddle. "12 seconds left. They'll now have, again, time for that one play, but that doesn't go too far. Gets them to the 35. It'll be 3rd down and mid-range to wrap up the first quarter. 25% of the way done, and nobody has gotten ahead yet. It's 7-7 after 1. We'll be right back. Clayton with the ball to start the second quarter with third down from the opposing 36. Breaking free on that one. That looks like that should be good for a first. Whistles finally blow. Get it to the 27. Williams on the carry, who again had that 40-yard touchdown midway through the first. And again, it is enough to move the chains. They're moving the ball slowly but surely. You know, they had that one play that broke free, but other than that, they've kept it on the ground for the most part with, you know, Ian Gannon back there as the QB. But for the Clippers, they've done a great job of being efficient with the ground game. And, you know, maybe they've seen some inconsistencies in the Pitman defense, and they've taken advantage of that. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. They're getting first down after first down, and even though the Clayton defense hasn't exactly been up to par in this first quarter, here comes another rush by Williams. He finally gets out inside the red zone. I think he might have been just short. We'll see where they mark it, though. Looks like they're going to spot the ball a yard shy of the red zone. Oh, there was a flag on the play. Never mind, holding against the offense. So, with great yardage comes great penalty markers, and that will bring up what would have been a huge play for Demetrius Williams. It'll now bring up second and about 15. Or, excuse me, first and about 15 from the 33, 34, somewhere in between there. I mean, it's right in between those two markers. Gannon won't even get the snap off. A timeout called by the Panthers. We'll keep it here early in the second quarter. Man, we've had a heck of a ride for football this year. You know, we had our first game, Bishop Eustis and Camden Catholic, a game that ended in a 33-0 rout for Camden Catholic. They took home their first win with Wayne Gilliam as the head coach. You know, they've had a great year this season. You know, obviously a long way to go in terms of their development, but, you know, they just a couple years ago were one of the top programs in South Jersey, especially for the Catholic schools. So, you know, the way that they're playing this year, definitely very different than what we're used to, but it's crazy. August 23rd was our first game. November 23rd is our last of the 2023 season. And then we have basketball and wrestling to follow in December, January, and February. And then before you know it, you'll bring on the spikes and baseball will be back. It's my favorite sport to cover. Not that I don't like covering football, but there's nothing like sitting outside on a warm day in April and May and just enjoying a great game of ball here in South Jersey. Gannon sends a man in motion. Hands off to Taylor. Gets it inside the 30. So after the holding penalty, that will bring them to second and 12. Kostiak on the carry there.
Clippers now have its second 11. The ball is at the Panthers 28.
From the 28, they send Williams in motion, pitched back to Taylor. Rollins tried to get him, but instead he gets a face full of turf. It'll be third down and about 8 from that 25. I think Pitman's defense has definitely stepped it up a little bit, but a lot of what Clayton has had trouble with this afternoon or this morning is that they've had a lot of penalties shoot them in the foot. This is their second holding call of the first half. They've had a couple of false starts, delay of games. You know, not really anything to give them a positive break, but they've been trying to make up for that with their efficient ground game, which has been good. You know, they're within 10 on third down. They can easily drive through this Pitman secondary and get a couple more yards out of it with Williams. Oh my goodness, he's still on his feet. And he gets all the way to the 10. What were we talking about? The efficient ground game works to perfection. It's a Clipper first down. There's not many like Demetrius Williams out there. I mean, he is one heck of a rusher. He can play both sides of the ball really well. And that is exactly what we just saw there. He had the touchdown earlier, and now he puts them on the doorstep on the 13. Williams going into this game with 756 rushing yards. That was his 14th rushing TD of the year. He had a 180-yard game versus Cumberland on October the 20th. Timeout called by the Clippers. We'll take a quick break. 9:25 remaining in the second quarter. 7-7 tie game. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner.
We're back with a rush by Ike Taylor. Be second down here after the big rush by Williams. A packed house here with the boat dock, Clayton student section, along with the visitors on the far sideline. They have come out in droves. You usually don't see a visiting grandstand this packed. Yeah, they are. There's a lot of SRO, standing room only, here at Clayton. I mean, again, this is the 98th year that these two teams have played each other. Going back to 1925. Here comes the rush up the middle by Taylor. They keep pushing and pushing. Now they finally trap him at the 4 or 5. Not sure exactly where they put it because they've got 22 guys all over in the same jumble.
6 yards on the carry for Williams. That'll bring up a 3rd and 2. The ball is at the Panthers 5.
Yeah, it'll be from the 5, 3rd and 2. If they can drive the ball across for 2 more yards, then that'll be 1st and goal, and that'll really put them right on the doorstep of the end zone. Ian Gannon coming back out to talk to his guys after getting advice of counsel, if you will, from John Chamberlain. Just about 11 a.m. here in Clayton. A 7-7 game could be 14 if Taylor can drive, but he falls short.
Number 5, Ike Taylor carrying for the Clippers.
So Ike Taylor.
It's now 4th down and 1. Clippers the ball at the Pitman 4.
4th and 1 from the 4-yard line. It's all or nothing, really. I mean, if you're 4th and 1 here, do you bring out Tala Yamdakama for the field goal? I mean, it's a chip shot. There really is no such thing as a chip shot field goal in high school football, but still worth noting, they have him available. Might not matter. Taylor falls into the end zone. Touchdown, Clippers.
Taylor in for a touchdown for the Clippers from 4 yards out.
Taylor gets the second score, and they'll bring out the PAT unit as Clayton breaks the stalemate. It's 13-7. With a chance to make it 14 here with Tala Yamdakama. Again, Isaac Taylor, who just got the touchdown, he will hold. Tala to send this one away. Hold stays on the ground. The kick is up away, and it is no good. Wide left. Yeah, that snap kind of hovered along the ground, and then once they got it down, just didn't seem like he had the right grip on it, and that's where this will hold with a 13-7 lead. But that's what's going to open up the door for Pitman. They've got a prolific offense. They've got some great dynamic duos or even terrific trios, if you will, on this Pitman offense. So they can score again. But that extra point with the former soccer player Hudson Rue, who's been really lights out this year on PATs and even on field goals, it's made it so that maybe it's 14-13 at the half. Maybe you tack on a couple extra points to try to make it 16-13. There's a lot of different ways that you can rearrange the score in this one. And especially with it now being a 6-point game, if you get into the end zone, it's already a tie game. So then you can take that 1-point lead and give yourselves a little bit of leeway going into the half. Again, this will be sent away by Clayton's number 7. That being Mikal Robinson, the sophomore and backup quarterback for the Clippers. Devaney and Tinges back deep to receive. It's taken in by Tinges inside the 20. And, yeah, he's not going to get too far with that one. Gets it inside to around the 32, over the middle. And that's where Pitman will set up shop for their drive with 6:44 remaining in the second quarter. We've had some great games this year, though. Just looking back, our first game of the year, 1914, Cherry Hill East beating Triton in the season opener. That was a great game. They really had everything down there. August 31st, 19-0, Gateway over Haddon Township was a lot better of a game in hindsight than it was, when you look at it at face value. But when you just look at the box score, first win for Andrew Daly as head coach of the Gators as a catch by Hudson Rue gets him to the 40. It'll be second down and about 4. So a 6-yard gain by Rue, the wide receiver and kicker. I mean, Pitman hasn't been too ambitious on the pass. They had that passing TD to Devaney. But now they're mixing it up a little bit, keeping it on the ground, keeping it in the air. We'll see where they stand with this one. Tinges gets the rush and steps out of bounds around the 47. It'll be enough for a Panther first down.
Number 4 Tinges on the carry for the Panthers. He picks up the first down. The ball is at the Panthers 45.
Of course, in September, we had that 26-21 game with Palmyra and Gloucester Catholic. Again, that aforementioned 3-hour, 19-minute game. That was the longest game I've done in a long time. Oh, and yeah, he's kicking himself for that one. That is Zion Carr, number 52. You could see as soon as he jumped, he smacked his helmet, in frustration. That'll set up a 1st and 5 from midfield for Pitman. In the I form, one receiver on each side. Here comes a rush up the middle by Rollins. And it's going to get maybe 2 yards. It'll set up 2nd and short.
2nd down and 2 for the Panthers. The ball at the Clipper 47.
Yeah, from the 47 here. Pitman with another chance to move the chains. Kubat looking for a call. Handoff, Tinges. Gets what should be enough for a Panther first down, and yes, it will. Again, moving those chains slowly but surely. These guys haven't made too much progress in the first half. There's only been maybe 2 or 3 drives on each side, when if it was a if it was more of a passing offense where these guys are moving the ball a lot quicker and getting those points on the board again quicker, they'd have a lot more drives. But these two defenses are really kind of balancing everything out. Pitman's driving the ball, Clayton's driving the ball. Everything's pretty level-headed in this first half. And off to Tinges. And he gets a shove out at the 32. And again, that's going to set up second and short. So all you need is a big first down play, and then you can just kind of inch it in from there. You like right now it's second and third, you could get a yard per play and you'd be fine.
Now second and 2, Panthers from the Clippers.
You could just inch it across for these last two plays and you're good. And you chew off a lot of time on the clock. Because you want to go into the break with, with the other side not really having that other opportunity. You want to take the lead, get 7 on the board, and leave them in the deficit going into the break. That's going to be a rush by Rollins. That again is enough for a Pitman first down. They've had 4 or 5 first downs in this drive alone, starting to drive back on their own 30. Now they've made it onto the opposing 26. And now they've made it very difficult for Clayton here as they are slowly getting their backs pushed against the wall. Hand off to Tinges.
There he goes.
Here we go. Tinges gets tugged around.
Oh, no way.
Oh, I think the ball came out. Clayton's got it back.
No.
It's Demetrius Williams.
Number 4.
And he gets down inside the 20.
Recovered by number 6, Demetrius.
But the Clippers, that is a big shot in the foot right there. They were so close. They had such great consistency on that drive. They were just pile driving them again and again and again.
Wow.
And then one time,
That's what they were
the
doing.
barrier breaks.
Trying to punch the ball out. If you looked when he was driving, trying to go towards the end zone, you could see all of the Clippers around him were trying their hardest, not just to pull him to the ground, but you could see them trying to punch the ball out. That's exactly what happened. All the momentum has just shifted. Now the Clippers have something to really push going forward here into the half.
Well, they've got just a hair under 4 minutes to play with 3:52 on the clock. Hand off to Barfield.
Yeah, nothing though.
I think that one might have gone to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just got there.
Be second down.
No yard for that rush. It's now second and 10.
For the 20-yard line, so he just got back to it. Did he? No. No, yeah, you're right. Didn't even be an inch.
Barfield this year with 412 rushing yards, including 196 in that 44-14 win versus Maple Shade. And for Ian Gannon, the class of 24 senior, you're not going to believe this, but this is how much of a rushing team Clayton is. As here comes the rush by number 12. Wait, hold on.
No.
I think the ball came out. The ball's going the other way. Pitman got it back again. Unbelievable. Fumble Palooza. Here it helped.
Carry was recovered by the Panthers.
Now they're in great field position again.
Yeah. Just call that one a mulligan. That one never even happened.
Raymond Sims.
I mean, I was going to say Raymond Sims was on that drive, and it just seems like the ball came out of nowhere, and Pitman gets the ball back in the red zone. Timeout called by Clayton. They'll talk it over with 2:54 remaining. But as we were talking about, Ian Gannon this year, this is how much of a rushing team Clayton is. Ian Gannon, 147 passing yards in the entire season. Only 2 passing TDs and only 1 interception. He had 106 passing yards versus Buna on September the 8th, but from what we've seen on this roster, he has not had a single passing yard since September 15th. That is crazy. And even on the rushing, he's had 4 attempts, hasn't gotten far on that one, but He had a 2-point conversion on versus Glassboro on September 29th, but he had 25 versus Kip Cooper, 16 versus Lower Cape May, and then he had 106 versus Buna, and a total of 5 versus Middle Township. It's crazy. I mean, again, Demetrius Williams, he's closing in on 750 rushing yards this year. Here comes the rush. I think that's Tinges down there.
Maybe a couple, maybe.
Yeah, didn't get too far.
1 or 2.
Tinges carrying again for the Panthers.
Williams with 756 going into this year. Jalen Rodriguez with 25. Jordan Barfield with over 400. Mikael Robertson with 17. Ike Taylor with 448 rushing yards. So you have 3 running backs with over 400 rushing yards this year, and a QB who has less passing yards than 150. He's going to get pushed forward on the tackle there on the handoff by Kubat. That'll be 3rd down after the first one didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. This one does, and we're now going to have 2 minutes to play in the half. Man, it's flown by, 11-17. They spot it at
3rd down and 9 for the Panthers.
right around the 12. It'll be 3rd down. Again, they've got about 100 seconds to play in this half, but again, Pitman, they gave up the fumble, then they got one back. Call it a mulligan if you will. Just act like that never happened. Just shaved some time off the clock and shaved off a little bit of their opportunity. Kubat with a fake up the middle on a pass. Touchdown, Pitman. They got it again. Stephen Devaney gets his 2nd of the afternoon, and that ties this game at 13. So Hudson Rue's going to come out to give Pitman the lead in what would be 14-13. With 1:31 to play in this first half. It is up, away, and just over the crossbar. Barely good. With 91 seconds to play, it's 14-13. Pitman leads late in the second quarter. We'll be right back. A 1:31 to play in the first half. Pitman's going to send this one away. Hudson Rue on a line drive kick. It's going to scatter across the ground, taken in at his own 12. Demetrius Williams on the return. Gets it to the 25, and finally the whistles are blown. For some other Thanksgiving games, the Millville Thunderbolts lead the Vineland Fighting Clan 21-0 in the second quarter. The Seneca Golden Eagles lead the Cherokee Chiefs 6-0 in the second. Middletown North is tied with Middletown South midway through the second quarter. We've got some more games as well, but when we get updates for you, Dumont leads Tenafly 13-0 at the half. Manasquan and Wall 7-7 at the half. So some low-scoring games today. Wequahic leads Shabazz 21-0 at their half. Rush up the middle, gets a couple of yards, and he's finally brought down
He's like pointing the other way.
Yeah, he was pointing the other way. I don't think that was going to work.
25, Chris Wiley. 5 yards on
They
that
get it to the
carry.
31 for 2nd and 5 for the Clippers.
31.
They have under a minute to play in the half. Rush up the middle by Taylor. He's got room. He gets a first down, gets it to the 42.
Mike Taylor carrying on the
Timeout.
play.
Taking timeout.
I was going to say, yeah, they're going to take a timeout. Pittman will call a timeout.
32.
Or
Or no. No, they won't. They'll keep the clock running. Both teams do have 2 timeouts remaining.
It's kind of dumb. Seriously, you should be trying to get something out of this final drive.
Now they'll have 20 seconds to play, but Clayton will need to drive the ball down the field to retake the lead at the half. For the first time since September 15th, we've got Gannon rushing up the middle with our dirty laundry everywhere. He takes himself out at the 48, and this might be going back. It's going to be a hold on the offense.
That's going to take it away.
So all that for nothing.
About 3 to...
Yeah, that's, man.
That's that, basically. Unless... It's basically that. Still picking. Okay, now what?
So that'll go back to 1st and 20 with 9.6 seconds remaining.
Clippers have it first and 20. The ball's at their own 32.
Yeah, so it's at the 32, but if Pittman can hold on to this lead going into the half, I think these guys are going to talk about how they can hang on to that lead and defend it even more for the next 24 minutes. They're going to get one more rush, and that's going to do it for the first half unless they call a timeout, which they do not. 2 quarters down, 2 more to play. Pittman with the edge halfway through. They hit the extra point to give them the lead. And after 24, it's the Panthers 14 and the Clippers 13. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the next half of this Thanksgiving Day special. We'll be right back. At the end of the first half, it is Pitman 14, Clayton 13. It's been a good game here on this 98th annual Thanksgiving tilt between two Gloucester County rivals. This has been a great game. 2 touchdowns to Stephen Devaney. He has had an excellent night as the wide receiver one of this ball club. And Kyle Kubat's had a good night as a passer as well. But Clayton's been an efficient ground game. Remember, they have over 3 rushers with over 400 yards. They are a great team on the ground. They look to continue this dominance on the ground. But at the half, they're down by 1. Now there's a lot to talk about. As they're down by 1, it's not really back and forth anymore. Each team has had 2 touchdowns, and the only difference in the game was a missed extra point by Clayton. And unfortunately, by the end of the day, that could be the difference maker. What have you seen from these 2 teams so far?
Right now, looking at how both of these teams have played, it's obviously been close. It's been a dogfight. We saw, at the end of the game, end of the first half, right there was a fumble where it looked like Clayton had a big chance to really, punch home a possible score or any type of, points. But then again, here comes Pitman again. They were able to get the ball back and were able to score a touchdown. Now, the good thing is they are up by a point. Does that 1 point give you momentum? It absolutely does. It gives you mentally, it helps you out. And now looking at it, Pitman starts the second half with the football. So this could possibly really give Pitman good momentum going into the second half if they can indeed punch a score here coming in to start off the second half. They will be in a very, very good position. But that's not counting out the Clayton Clippers. Like we said, they've been able to match their opponent many times this season. And, just because right now, Pitman happens to have the momentum, that does not mean the game is 100% Pitman's. This game is, remember,
it's still wide open.
It's wide open. It's still 1 point. Who knows what could happen? A fumble could happen. An interception could happen. So
anything's possible.
Anything is possible. Right now, Pitman, they really have a chance here to really, get ahead. But, we've seen, like I said, the Clippers have came back. They have matched their opponents very well this season. So this game still is a dogfight, and I still would not be surprised if this comes down to the final drive at the end.
I would not be surprised either, but we'll bring your attention back to the field as Pitman and Clayton get ready to go. And Clayton will kick this one off. Pitman will receive, and when you want to watch Thanksgiving football, you'll watch it from anywhere, including the cemetery across the street. There's some folks parked there, I think honoring some loved ones and also honoring this Thanksgiving tradition. There's people parked all along there watching the game. That is an excellent view, but a little bit morbid, if you will. Robinson will send this one away for the Clippers, and the visitors will receive here to start the second half. Kick taken in at the 20 by Trey Tinges. He gets into a plethora of blue and white and is taken down at the 32 to start the second half. Clayton got first blood with a touchdown on a 40-yard rush by Demetrius Williams, and then they quickly had the game tied back up on an 18-yard receiving TD by Stephen Devaney. Clayton got one back again on a rush by Ike Taylor to get into the end zone. They unfortunately missed the extra point by number 9, Tala Yagmarkaya, and then Pitman was able to strike back again with another touchdown to Devaney. Here comes a rush up the middle. Swallowed up at the 35 for a gain of 2. Second down. Chris Baker and Matt Cosentino are here for media. Kevin Minnick's over at Florence and Riverside. Brian Tortello's over at Haddonfield and Haddon Heights. We've got some great football on the slate today. Holy Spirit leads Atlantic City 28-14 at the half. Florence leads Riverside 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Audubon and Haddon Township are scoreless in the second quarter. And along with that, also, we have, here we go, Trey Tinges. That is a big hit for a loss of 4 yards by Trey Tinges. A big stop by Demetrius Williams, really being able to play efficiently on both sides of the ball, and they'll line it up for a 3rd and long from the right hash at their own 34. So, they lost 1 yard on that play, 3rd and 9. Snap to Kubat in the shotgun. He looks to pass, but he's got room to his left. It is caught. Trey Tinges, what a catch. Trey Tinges in double coverage brings it down for a Panther first down. They had two guys on him, including number 25, Brian Marshall, and also Raymond Sims. And now they drive the ball across the 50 to the opposing 47 as Pitman continues to drive the ball across efficiently, not losing a beat from that first half. They'll get it again. Kubat takes it himself. Makes a nice crossover. He gets a block, but takes himself out of contention at the 45. That goes to the 42. 2nd and 5. Again, if they can keep this momentum up, they can easily make it a 2-score game. It's just a matter of how much you want it. You know, this is a game where both teams are out of contention. They're playing for, local pride, if you will. And that's what's important, is that you're playing for pride of your team, especially for these seniors where it's going to be their last high school game no matter what. There's nothing after this. This is the last high school football game for these seniors that they're going to play in their careers. So that's what's important. So they did not get it across that time. It is 3rd and 2. They did get the ball across the 40 to the 39. We'll try it again, see if they can convert on the 3rd down. They send Rue in motion. A bit of a miscommunication there, but on the delay, Rollins gets it across to the 36.
Number 11, Chase Rollins.
And it looks like it is enough. And it is enough for a first down.
First down, Panthers.
They haven't been too great with the passing game in midfield, except for that one Tinges catch. But, both of their TDs have been on the pass today. So they've been able to pass the ball when it matters the most, but they've mostly kept it on the ground when they're not right on the doorstep of the end zone. Shotgun snap. Kubat completes the pass to Porter Kostiak, who gets it to the 30. 2nd down. There's PVI and Camden Catholic today. A lot of good games in the area. It'll be 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 for the Panthers.
We've covered these teams multiple times. Pitman, this is our 3rd game of the year covering them. This is our second Clayton Clippers game this year. Hand off to Tinges, gets nowhere. 3rd down. By the way, in the 3rd quarter, it is 13-0 Seneca in front of Cherokee.
The play picks up no yards. Number 5, Taylor, and number 52, Zaid Carr on the tackle. 3rd down and 4.
Millville is up big on Vineland. It is 44-0 in the at half. They've been absolutely killing it today. Direct snap to Kubat.
Number 5, quarterback keeper, stopped shy of the first down.
It'll be at the 30, maybe the 29, but I think it's still short because the first down marker is over at the 27.
Ball is at the 29-yard line. It's 4th down and 2 for the Panthers.
Fourth and short. Kubat passes over the middle. It's caught by Devaney. And that'll be enough as it gets him to the 25. As we were talking about, slowly but surely, they have been covering the ground well. And as I said, they pass when it matters, but they don't pass when they don't need to. they want to keep that clock running as much as possible. So until all of your other options are strained and exhausted, until you use up all those options, the pass seems like a last resort for these guys, but they're making it work. Kubat from under center, handoff to Rollins, gets stopped short of the line of scrimmage with a huge hit by Demetrius Williams. Second down.
By number 5, Mike Taylor. 1 yard loss on that carry. Second down and 11. Ball's at the 25.
Second and 11 from the 25. I mean, they've already used up half of the time in the third quarter. They've been really good at chewing off the clock this afternoon. Kubat has room, but he is swallowed up, and the ball came out. Pitman picks it up. The ball is still alive. Number 54 has it, and he gets it all the way back to the 35. I mean, Isaac Taylor picked it up. I thought it was going to be a Clayton ball, but the ball just barely stayed alive with Sean Powell picking it up, the 2024 senior. And that is going to set up third and very long. First down marker is all the way up at the 15. They are at the 36. So again, that will be third and 21. This is where I think you're going to want to put out the pass here. You can see their secondary is playing pretty far back. I think they're expecting a pass here from number 5, Kubat. They do. They get a short pass off the Tinges. Finds a hole up the middle, but only gets to the 32, which is still going to set up fourth and long. Oh, we have a Clipper player down. That is number 52, Zion Carr. You can see he's having some trouble keeping his weight up. Oh no, yeah. Yeah, you can see the way he was moving there. I think he might have taken a bad hit. Yeah, you've seen that with Tua Tagovailoa a couple times. That is not good. Athletic trainer Sarah Campbell out there, along with Dr. Robert Preventure. So an injury timeout with 4 minutes, 50 seconds left for Zion Carr of Clayton in a scary situation. As you could see, I think he was disoriented coming up on that tackle there. John Chamberlain out there talking to his player. Looks like he's going to get up here. Hopefully he is okay, but he's steady now, but you do not want to mess with those kind of injuries, because that was not something where it was like his leg or his arm or something. You could tell that he was disoriented, and you just really, really hope that is not what you think it is. But they'll take him on the sideline, and they will tend to him here. And again, with Sarah Campbell attending to Carr. Kubat drops back to pass on fourth and long. Over the middle in triple coverage. Tipped and incomplete.
Oh my God, that was close.
Devaney couldn't get it. They went for all they could have, but it's incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs.
Play was broken up by number 25, Brian Marshall.
So Marshall in the breakup there, but that was in triple coverage. That's a hard pass to make, and they just couldn't hang on to it. And Clayton will take this one over from their own 32 after the turnover.
Clippers now have a first and 10 from their own 32.
That will be stopped. Second down.
Number 5, Mike Taylor, hit immediately for a loss. Now second down and 12 for the Clippers. Ball at their own 31.
Second and long, handoff to Taylor. He gets it to the 35 with a host of white and orange on that one. So that now goes to 3rd and 8 from the 40.
That was a 4-yard carry by.
Again, you're at 2nd and 12. You get a 4-yard carry on that one. You want the momentum in your court, but Pitman right now, they have a good stranglehold on this momentum. Clayton's got to take that over, and they've got 8 yards to go on this drive. You know, they took advantage of that turnover on downs. You know, you've got the ball in your court, take the shot. Hand off to Williams. He's had some big gains on the ground this afternoon. Comes in to the 39 for a gain of 3, but it'll still be short. And it'll be 4th down. Right now, no indication. I mean, Ian Gannon's going back out there. So my guess is that they are not keeping the offense off the field, but I mean, again, it's a 1-point game. You've got 2.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. You don't really have a lot of time to waste. You've only got 14 minutes or so, and you know that Pitman is good at chewing the clock off. So you want to give him as many opportunities as you can. Isaac Taylor pushes himself, but I think that's short. Clayton wants it, but they're not going to get it. So back-to-back turnover on downs keeps the ball in a stalemate at midfield. And now Pitman will have the ball again on the opposing 43. I mean, that's what we've seen so far. Back-to-back turnover on downs makes this situation a little bit more complicated than we've seen in previous games. First and 10 from the 42. Kubat sends Tinges in motion. Handoff to Rollins. Goes up the middle for maybe about 2 or 3 yards. Whoa, hold on. Looked like a little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle. Goes to the 40 for a gain of 2. Second down.
That was a 2-yard carry. Now 2nd down and 8. The ball is at the Clippers 40.
But yeah, Zion Carr is a senior. He is on the sideline on the Clippers bench with his helmet off as Tinges gets a run. Should be good enough for a first down, but that's got to hurt. I mean, he's being attended to there with Sarah Campbell, the athletic trainer. I mean, if that's the last game he plays as a high school career, that's rough. You never want that to be the way it ends. 3rd and short. They're going to go with a tush push, it looks like. The brotherly shove in South Jersey works to perfection, and it's a Pitman first down. Now with a minute to play. They're going to line it up from the 31. They've got time for 1, maybe 2 plays left in the 3rd.
Once again, the winning 50-50 ticket number is 455344. Please come to the press box and collect your $411.
$411 is the 50-50 prize. I should have invested in that. First and 10, handoff to, I think that was Kostiak up there. No, excuse me. Not Kostiak on the carry, but Pitman gets a couple of yards, second down.
Ticket number is 455344. 455344. You have the winning
Man, $411 for a 50-50, especially at a high school game. That's a lot. I mean, you could see the visiting crowd is packed. You take a look at the home. Oh, hold on, excuse me. that will end the third quarter. But you can see the home crowd here coming out in droves this morning / afternoon. It's been a great day for Thanksgiving football. We'll be right back after 3. We've got one more to play. 14-13. Pitman holds on to their lead. Start of the fourth quarter here in Clayton. It's 14-13. Pitman with the ball. 2nd and 7. Kubat drops back to pass. Over the middle. One-handed, but Kostiak couldn't bring it down. I thought he had that for a second. What would have been an unbelievable play. Official timeout here is I think there may have been an injury in the end zone. Yeah, we've got a man down in the end zone as Kostiak almost made the one-handed catch, but somebody in the Clayton secondary is hurt. You can see he took his helmet off. That cannot be good. I think that's Raymond Sims. So Zion Carr was hurt. But he appears to also now be back into the game. But Ray Sims went down immediately, took his helmet off. Again, being attended to, Sarah Campbell down there. Clayton school doctor as well. John Chamberlain giving assistance as well. I mean, that's just rough. So Raymond Sims gets help off the field, again with Sarah Campbell. That looked like a rough hit in the end zone. We've got somebody selling sandwiches, it looks like. We'll show that in a minute. Kubat, handoff to Tinges. Gets it off to the right side. Might be enough for a first down. Gets it to the... It's going to be short. It's going to be at the 22. Yeah, you can see over in the boatyard. Who is that down there? Somebody selling sandwiches.
Is that a hot dog?
I don't think it's a hot dog, but it looks like maybe Kaiser rolls or something. But yeah. I was going to say, Vince, if I give you my wallet, get us 2. Handoff. Kubat takes it himself. Kubat to the corner. Dives to the pylon. I don't know. Hold on now. Kyle Kubat with a keeper. From the 22 all the way to the goal line. Okay, so he was down at the 2. He either stepped out or I think the ball might have been over the pylon, but he must have stepped out. Vince, take my wallet and ask that man how much the sandwiches are. He's down there. I'll take care of the clock. He's getting us some sandwiches. He's going to follow that fella. He's down there. He's at the bottom of the steps. Follow him. Up the middle, Tinges. I think it's good.
Number 4, Tinges carrying for the Panthers.
No, I don't think he got it. He did not get it. They're going to try it again. They go with the no huddle. Kubat on the keeper. Did they get stopped again?
Kubat on the quarterback, keeper is stopped again. Shy
Oh
of the
my
line.
goodness, they stopped it again.
Now 3rd and goal from the 1.
3rd and goal from the 1. That one is up the middle. Is that one good?
That's shy too.
I think that's going to be short. Oh my goodness. They get stopped 3 times in a row.
Kubat stopped shy again. It's 4th and goal.
4th and goal. One more time. Oh my goodness! They stopped him 4 times in a row! Are you kidding me? Oh! Clayton's defensive line with the stop of the year! Clayton, 6 yards away from giving up the go-ahead score! And they get stopped 4 times! That is unbelievable! I have never seen a stop that significant in a long, long time. They were at the 2-yard line. They made it all the way to the 1. The caveat is now Clayton is now backed against the wall for the turnover on downs. I think they're going to get a couple of yards again. Wait a second. Oh my goodness. Well, so were they hot dogs?
Yes.
They were hot dogs. Well, Vince, you missed something incredible. Clayton was against their 2-yard line on 1st and goal. They stopped Pitman 4 times to force a turnover. But here's the problem. On the first play of the drive, Clayton fumbled the ball at their own 1, and Pitman now has the ball back for another 4 chances. 9:47 on the clock. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on DWB. 14-13 Pitman. Here we go. Pitman again with the ball back. Feels like it could be 8th and goal at this point. You know, they've had chance after chance. They're going to try to get into the end zone again after being stopped 4 times in a row. This time, will it be 5? This time, they go. Stopped for a 5th time at the goal line. This is incredible. I have not seen something like this in a long, long time. For attempt number 6, Kubat again at the 2. Handoff. This time, it's good.
Or is it?
Number 11.
No, it's finally good. Chase Rollins with the go-ahead score. He got through, finally found a gap in the defense, and Clayton stopped Pitman 5 times in a row on the goal line.
That's crazy. This game.
They will go for the extra point to make it an even 21-13. No. Hold on. They're going for 2. They want to make this a 2-score game for 9 points. I can't blame them, to be honest with you. I really can't blame them. You want to make this a 2-score game. Here we go.
Oh, they jumped. That's on.
Looks
that's
like Clayton jumped.
That's Clayton.
Doesn't matter too much, as now it's just going to inch the ball forward for that 2-point. In other news, though, Raymond Sims is on the sideline. They have a stretcher out for him. The Gloucester County EMS came out with a stretcher. He was injured in the end zone a couple of plays ago on that attempted pass to Porter Kostiak. They pitch it out to the right, tinges, wide open spaces, and a wide open 2-point conversion to make it a 9-point game in favor of the visitors. With 9:09 to play in the first, it is 22-13. Pitman on top by 9. We'll keep it here as Clayton will get ready to send this one back into their offensive possession. And as we said, we'll keep an eye out on that Raymond Sims situation. There was Zion Carr, who I was worried about at first because it looked like he may have had like concussion-like symptoms, but Sims needed help off the field, but now Carr seems to have his helmet back on and back into action. But we will provide updates on whatever is going on with Mr. Sims as soon as possible. Again, the Gloucester County EMS brought out the stretcher for him with the back doors of the ambulance open. So Dan Antonelli is out there, Clayton's athletic director on the left side of your screen. I wonder what it might be, but it's not good. You know, you take off your jersey, your helmet, he's done for the day. I think whatever it is, Raymond Sims, the 2024 senior, appears to have played his last down as a Clipper. Yeah, I really hope that whatever it is, he is okay. Hudson Rue to kick this one off from the 40. Kickoff got muffed, but Clayton keeps the kick return from Isaac Taylor, and he gets pushed down at the 42. That is where Clayton will set up, down by 9, but that's smart by Chris Thomas there to go for 2. It's risky, but if you don't do it, you're still up by 7, and if you make it, you're up by 9 now. They have to work extra hard to get back to where they are. So if you're Pitman right now, you're riding high for what could be your first win in this Thanksgiving gauntlet since 2020. Again, as we said, the Clippers have won the last 4 or 5 matchups between these two teams. And Clayton wants to make it 5 of 6. And off. Williams breaks free. He's to the 35. Looks like he got tugged a little bit, but he gets inside the red zone for a Clipper first down. That's something right there. You know, you've got some great breaking power by Demetrius Williams. He's had one heck of a day with that first touchdown. Handoff to number 10. That gets swallowed up. That being Josiel Figueroa. Haven't seen much of him today, but he gets some action here in the 4th. So Pitman leads by 9, 22-13. But on a huge breakaway by Demetrius Williams, they now get inside the red zone. Ike Taylor up the middle gets hit hard by number 20-something. I think that was... Excuse me there. That was number 2 on the tackle there, Adriano Platt. Under 8 minutes to play in regulation. Pitman leads by 9, but Clayton wasting no time. Handoff to Taylor. Platt in there again. They get it to the 10, but that's still going to be short, and that's going to make it 4th down. I think right now, even with 7.5 minutes remaining, it's make or break time for Clayton right now. Because if you don't convert here, I don't think that there's much that Clayton can do on defense to get the ball back. You know, they forced a couple fumbles today, but Taylor's going to get stopped. He's at the 10, and Pitman's going to get it back. That is exactly what Clayton did not want. All they needed was a couple of yards, but again, that's one of the shortcomings of having a run-exclusive game, is that you know where your guys are going to go, and Pitman's defense is perfectly designed for that.
We all know what's going to happen now. Pitman's been doing it all game, and they're going to try their best to run this clock down on this drive, make this drive the slowest, longest drive they possibly could. We'll probably see a lot of running, and only you'll see passing, like you said earlier, in key situations.
Rush up the middle. Looks like Tinges on the carry. Whistles are finally blown, still inside their own 20. Now under 7 minutes to play in regulation. But like we've said, there's been their fair share of turnovers tonight. You know, a couple of fumbles each way. There has been a lot. Clock winding down here as they're going to try to use every second to their advantage. Tinges gets it to the 19. And again, this is exactly what you want. It's 3rd and short. Oh, and a late flag comes flying in. Another late flag comes in. A little bit of barking on both sides. You can see might be an offsetting penalty from what we're hearing. Jordan Barfield was absolutely livid, whether it was with his own team or another team. But again, from what we're hearing, this may be offsetting penalties. Referees will talk it over. Well, yeah, it was well after the whistle, so somebody must have made the magic word, if you will, or magic words, even the magic shove, if you will. Yeah, they're going to talk to John Chamberlain here. So I don't know what they're explaining, but obviously it didn't even look that violent. It didn't even look like somebody tried to throw a punch or something. It was just like, this looks like somebody said the wrong thing or did the wrong action. But again, if it's offsetting penalties, it's like a mulligan, you know? So John Chamberlain seems to disagree with the call, but ambivalently walks off. So 2 personal fouls on one on both teams. So it's going to offset. But it was 3rd and short, and because of the offsetting penalties and because of the first personal fouls, it is going to be an automatic first down set from the 24. But again, if you're Pitman, this actually isn't what you want. Not just because of the fact that, well, first of all, clock's running now, but, you know, but just because of what these guys have in terms of their clock management, that is not what you want, is a delay. Because both of these teams are going to get cold and the momentum is going to try to swing the other way. Kubat from the under center position. That one goes over the middle to the 25. Maybe a gain of a yard or so. Time called. There's Raymond Sims getting taken away on a stretcher. Hopefully he is okay. Again, we'll provide updates on Mr. Sims when available. We have an officials timeout here. You know what? I think they're calling time because Sims has to get into the ambulance, and the best way to get to there, as you can see, is through that gate across the field. I think that's what's going on, is that they're waiting for him to clear and for him to get into the ambulance, and then they will resume play. There's Dan Antonelli back there again. See, it just seemed like Zion Carr's injury was more outwardly like violent and worse than Raymond Sims. But whatever happened with him, again, really hoping he's okay. So yeah, when we have an update on Raymond, we'll let you know. But he is being loaded back into the back of the Gloucester County EMS ambulance right now. Second and 7 from the 28. I mean, with 5.5 to play in this fourth quarter, this is exactly what Pitman wants. They control their own destiny here. They just have to make sure that they don't fumble it away or pick it off. You know, Kubat's been pretty efficient with his pocket passing, but you just don't want to lose that opportunity. Rollins with a rush up the middle. It'll be third down. For those just tuning in, it's been a close game all day, and actually it's the first time all game that any team has jumped out to a 2-possession lead. It's 22-13 in favor of the Panthers. Pitched back to Tinges. Brings it back to the line of scrimmage at the 30. Fourth down. Do you bring out Rue here and do you test your luck? But yeah, we've got some other games on the air today. In addition to this one, Holy Spirit in Atlantic City is on BFA Sports. What did they say back in the old days? Tune your cable box and, you know, set your DVR. Time called here. Called by Pitman. But yeah, Holy Spirit in Atlantic City, that is on BFA Live Sports. 94 WIP has Haddonfield and Haddon Heights. Vineland Public Schools, the VHS network, which sounds pretty funny to say, but they have Vineland and Millville, although Millville has run away with that game pretty handily. And then also Steiner and Hamilton West is on the air at WBCB Sports. So it is a good day for football, whether you eat turkey, ham, or in your case, turducken? Turducken. Yeah, there you go. Turducken.
Your viewers know what that is.
Well, yeah, we've talked about it before. The turkey, duck, and the chicken. Some Frankenstein's monster of a of a meal, but
Could be stirred.
yeah. Timeout's over here. There goes the Gloucester County EMS ambulance. Hopefully he is okay.
Hudson Brew on for the kick on the punt.
Hudson Rue to punt. I think this is the first time we've seen a punt today. It's Rue who sends it away and actually gets some really good distance on it. For high school punting standards, that one goes, they're going to let it roll down to the 36, and that's where Clayton will take over. They couldn't get too far on that one, but again, Pitman controls the destiny here. This is the first time today that any team is led by 2 scores. It's been a close game back and forth all day, and now Clayton will have 3.5 minutes to cut down on that deficit, and then hopefully, you know, they go for an onside kick. Maybe they try to get some extra points on their hands. I would imagine, I mean, you need 2 possessions to win the game. But if they get into the end zone, do you go for 1 and make it 22-20 and a 2-point game? Maybe a safety wins it if you pin them deep in your end zone. Or do you go for 2 just in case they fumble the ball away? But I know Clayton is a rushing team, and this is going to be out of character if they go for a pass. Gannon, the lefty, fires, picked off, Trey Tinges, and that could put the game on ice. It goes to the 30, and he's going to get down as Pitman on the first play on defense with 3.5 minutes to play, regains possession, and puts the game back in their hands.
Wow, and they're in perfect field position.
Yeah, all you got to do...
Hold on to the football. Important.
Yeah. Pitman has 1 timeout. Clayton is all 3. You burn those timeouts, you get a couple... And there's another... I believe that is a Clayton player down. But from the way it looks like it might just be a cramp because they're lifting up that left leg.
Yeah.
Still hoping he's okay, though, regardless of the situation. That is... I think that's number 10, Josiel Figueroa. But with 3 minutes, 22 seconds left, Pitman might have just sealed the game on that pick by Trey Tinges. You know, he's had 1 of the touchdowns today. I still give my vote for player of the game to Stephen Devaney. In his last high school game, 2 passing TDs, 2 receiving TDs on his end. He's done an excellent job today. Kyle Kubat, though, he has also been, kind of the dynamic duo. Because, again, this is not exactly... They weren't passing a lot in the early part of the season, and then Kubat ramped it up, and they were able to make it work. So, hobbling off the field, Demetrius Williams, with a little bit of help from Dr. Campbell. So now, 1st and 10 for the Panthers from the opposing 28. They just need a couple of first downs and... a lot of time wasted off the clock. Remember, Clayton, though, has all 3 timeouts, but that 2-point conversion has been the difference maker. Because now they're down by 9 instead of 8. Tinges on the carry. It's probably about 5 yards on that play, up to the 25, 2nd down. Yeah, Clayton called their first timeout. They've got 2 remaining, and we'll take a quick break. 3:14 remaining in regulation, 22-13 in favor of the visitors. Pitman with the ball back after the interception by Trey Tinges. Clayton called their first timeout. Kubat with the keeper. That might have been enough for a first down. Clock is still running. No, now it stopped at 3:04. So Clayton calls their second timeout. Or no, excuse me. No. Now it's running again. No, because remember in high school, clock stops after every first down, and then once the ball is spotted, it restarts again. Pitman with 1 timeout left. Clayton with 2. First and 10 from the 18. Kubat with the handoff to Tinges, who's really been a great X factor in this game. He brings it up to the 12, maybe the 11. And now the clock will stop as Clayton has called their second timeout. They have 1 remaining. This broadcast is brought to you by Tommy D's Home Improvement, a place to be for all wholesale kitchen cabinets and countertops, along with heavily discounted rates compared to big box retailers. Visit today on 612 Creek Road in Belmar, next to the 42 on-ramp. This broadcast is also brought to you by Vincent's Lawn Care. Fall cleanup and winter cleanup are now available for the 2023 season. Call today at 609-413-0403 for a quote. And one more. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center, the place to be for all things pet-related, including the healthiest product choices available. Toys, cages, accessories, and more are also available. Visit today 7 days a week on the 200 block of Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, or visit online anytime at exoticpetsnj.com. And I'd like to give a big thank you to all of our sponsors who have made this possible over the last couple of months. If you'd like to become a sponsor of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, contact us using the email below. Packages start for $150 for 6 months. Here comes Devaney looking for a hat trick, and he's got it. Stephen Devaney puts the nail in the coffin. His third of the day, his first rushing touchdown, and that puts this game away for Pitman. And they are going to lead this one 27-13. Oh, sorry, 28. See, I can't do math. See, I said 26, then I said 27, then I said 28. You see, I'm working there. Slowly but surely, that's been the theme of this game all day. Rue will go for the PAT, but there's dirty laundry on the field. I think Clayton jumped here. Some of the fans starting to head on out with Pitman being prematurely declared victorious here in a 28-13 game. It will be their first win in this Thanksgiving Spectacular since 2020 in their 98th edition. As Clayton had won the last 4 or 5 games, that PAT from Rue is up, away, and good. That makes it 29-13 with 2:16 to play in the fourth quarter. If Pitman hangs on today, they will go to 6-4. Clayton would end their 2023 campaign with John Chamberlain at 5-5. And of course, after today, we'll be closing up the 2023 football season. 23 games played. We went to over 15 different high schools for coverage of high school football. You know, this is my first year of doing high school football after 2 years of doing baseball. 2024 will be my third season covering, but, you know, we started out on August 23rd covering Bishop Eustace, but we went to, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, counting all the things on my YouTube videos, 9, 10, let's see, going back to Clayton here, 11, let's see, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and yes, that is 16 different high schools in 23 games this year, from all the way to from Camden Catholic on August 23rd to our most recent game at a new venue, Gloucester Catholic in Collingswood, on November 16th. But we've covered all different kinds. We've been in the grandstands like in Delran and Pitman, and even in Collingswood. We've been in very nice press boxes like in Cherry Hill West, and even in Triton at Highland Regional. This one's very nice as well. Nice and warm.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't feel freezing cold like I was last week, but this one's taken in at the 40 by Barfield. He gets it across the 50 to the opposing 41. Jordan Barfield, the senior. I mean, this is an upperclassman-heavy team here for this Clippers squad, and they're going to have 2 minutes remaining to try and salvage some points on the board before the end of the night. And of course, 12:37 local time here in Clayton. We'll all go home, and as we close our 2023 football season, I would like to say thank you to everybody for their support in this 2023 football season. We went into the 2023 football season with just a hair over 1,000 subscribers, a number that we hit in June. And we are now at over 1,400 subscribers with over 60,000 views annually. This one is brought down by Michael Robinson. Now 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. So they are driving the ball. Even if this is going to be it, it's still a valiant effort nonetheless. Both teams have one timeout remaining. They have 1:50 to play. Clock has stopped. Hold on here. Not sure what the penalty was against Pitman, but it will count the same, and it's going to be spotted at the 20 as the clock will now run. Yeah, I don't know what that penalty was, but Gannon drops back. Devaney
Got him.
tosses him around like a rag doll for a loss of 12.
Gannon was hit for a loss by number 1, Stephen Devaney.
And that's even a better case for him to be player of the game this afternoon. I mean, he has just been absolutely lights out. Second and long, second and about 15 with a minute and a hair left to play. From the 30 after the sack by Stephen Devaney on Ian Gannon. He's going to drop back. He lets it fly. It's a long way. It is picked off. No, it's incomplete. Almost bringing it down. Not sure who that was on the far sideline. It looks like it was number 3. That being Tyler Marone, the junior. So close, but no cigar. And it's going to be back to third and long. Third and long with 52.8 seconds to play. Here from Haupt Field, home of the Clayton Clippers. A brand new turf surface, brand new press box. They have really redone everything to perfection here. It's glad to be here for another game of Clipper football. As here comes a rush up the middle by Williams, by Demetrius Williams. Clayton will burn their final timeout. 38.4 seconds remaining. And even if the Clippers are in a losing effort, don't let the score fool you. This is not at all what we thought this game was going to be. You know, we talked about how it could have gone to the last drive. It certainly went to the last quarter. It certainly went there. Only in the second section of the last quarter was this game even relatively out of hand. But 29-13 is not a bad score. Pitman put up a lot today. Devaney got that last-second touchdown to put the game away. But for the longest time, it was a 2-score game because of a 2-point conversion that Pitman had converted to make it 22-13. And that was the difference. An 8-point game and a 9-point game was that little barrier that just made it so different for the Clippers and made that uphill battle just that much harder that they weren't able to recover from. Again, Pitman would go to 6-4 on the 2023 campaign to close their season. Clayton with one last shot here on 4th and short. Pitched out, tugged by the jersey and brought down. Keeps it in play. Clock is stopped with 32.3 remaining. And it looks like Pitman will take this one over as it was short.
Williams was stopped shy of the first down marker.
Pitman was 5-4 in 2022. 4-5 in 2021. This is their best record since 2020, the shortened season when they were 5-2. Pitman calls their final timeout. But you think about the fact that just a couple of years ago they were 1-8, really down on their luck, and have now rebounded into a 500-plus ball club year after year, and you think just a couple of years from now, maybe even next year with a new core of Pitman Panthers, they'll be able to make the playoffs again.
Nobody from the Pitman side is left, really.
But as we said, yeah, Pitman is still here. They are not leaving. They have plenty of reason to stay. They have had an excellent year. And they'll have one last play for all of their seniors here on Thanksgiving.
I think they just put every single that they have possible, I think.
But this would be their best record since 2020 and their first 6-win season since before I have records available, dating back to 2010. In victory formation, the kneel made by Kyle Kubat, and the last snap of his high school career is the one to win the game. In the 98th edition of this Thanksgiving tilt, the final score is the Pitman Panthers 29 and the Clayton Clippers 13. As I'll tell you folks, this final score was not reflective of how close this game was. You had these guys play a dogfight. It was all the way until the last moment. In the middle of the fourth quarter is when this game started to just slip away from Clayton, and that's how this is going to be a wrap-up this afternoon. They line it up at the 50. They'll have their goodbyes in the 2023 season, and I guess that means we also will have our goodbyes for the 2023 season as well. I guess I have to adjust this camera one more time here in 2023. And Vince, you know, it's been a wild ride, to say the least. 23 football games that we've covered, starting out in our first in Camden Catholic and closing here. You know, we had this game scheduled in July, and it's hard to believe it's Thanksgiving Day, and now our season ends. And same with these guys. You know, your heart hurts for the seniors, especially for Clayton, especially for Raymond Sims, who had to be brought away on the stretcher there, and also with Zane Carr as well. You know, you got to feel for those guys as well. But this was a hard-fought game. Pitman, again, with this score being 29-13, don't let the score fool you. This was anybody's game until about maybe 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Pitman got that 2-point conversion, and that's all they needed, and they ended up taking a money run for them to be able to get another score with Stephen Devaney in the end zone for his third touchdown of the day, which, by the way, I'm giving my vote for player of the game to Devaney. You know, he's an excellent receiver. He's an excellent rusher as well, and he'll probably be going somewhere great for baseball as well. Three-sport athlete, you don't get much better than that, and he's excellent in all three. You know, kind of a freak of nature, if you will. But, Vince, what did you see from Pitman out there today?
I mean, right now, I just saw a big, gritty team right there. I mean, they were a fighting team. I mean, especially when Clayton was able to punch them in the gut with getting that fumble and whatnot, and then Pitman able to get it right back, able to punch in the score. And really, their defense, I have to give a lot of credit to their defense, because looking at the score, seeing 29 points out there, a lot of people are probably like, oh, you know, the offense has definitely played a great game. Yes, but the defense held them in. When this game was close, the defense really helped out, held the Clayton Clippers, and a lot of times had them turn it over on downs, and Pitman had beautiful field position. So, I mean, the defense played a big part in this win for Pitman. Pitman was good on both sides of the football, but really on the defensive side of the football, they played a great game, and that defense was really able to help the offense out big time, which always set them up in pretty good field position. And the offense pretty much took from there, and especially now at the end of this fourth quarter, they really started to put in the finishing punches and were able to take this game on Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, this is a game of history. It's the 98th time these two teams have played each other, dating back to 1925 when Calvin Coolidge was president. You know, when you could get a burger for 50 cents, when you could, you know, when gas cars weren't really, you know, they were a brand newfangled thing. You had the walk places. What in the world is that? But, you know, this has just been a great season for everybody, and you know, even though Clayton played a great game, just wasn't theirs to win today. But I'd like to give a special thank you to everybody who supported DWB throughout this fall season. You know, we gained 400 new subscribers, 400 plus new subscribers. We had over 8,000 views for our football games across all 23. You know, some did better than others. Some, you know, maybe we had some blowouts along the way. We had a lot of nitty gritty games, but we also had some great games, and this was an example of a great game this afternoon. So big thanks to Dan Antonelli for having us out here again. He's one of the nicest ADs I've seen in a long time. So, this is... Yeah, there you are. He was just a little bit off camera, but, all the people that have given us our opportunity on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, I am incredibly grateful for. I'm graduating from Audubon High School this June. I'm going to be going to school, a 4-year college, to pursue a degree in sports communications and media. And, Vince has also been a great job. He's also been excellent in that as well. Coming along for most of the games this year, not just in the summer with the Tri-County League, but this as well. You've got dinner with your family coming up. You guys are responsible for hosting, but you're taking time out of your morning to be here. So, I wouldn't have been able to we wouldn't have been able to have such a great broadcast on the air without him doing great clock operating, pressing all the buttons I want him to press. He does an excellent job. So, big thanks to everybody on our crew who supported us. Whether you worked for one game or whether you worked all 23, it was a great season for us. But our basketball schedule is still in the works. We're right now contacting athletic directors, contacting different schools, seeing what we can do to schedule some games. I think Clayton's going to have one or two, but we're probably going to keep, just a public service announcement, we're probably going to keep a lighter basketball schedule in the winter just because we've got to bulk up for the spring season. We've got a lot of great plans scheduled. As you guys know, our partnership with Rutgers Camden is expanding. We're doing 12 home games for the Scarlet Raptors this year, and I'm probably going to have a game almost every day from April 1st to June 15th or whenever the season ends in Hamilton Park. But, everybody that worked on this football crew did an excellent job, and all of the viewers as well, especially from Pitman and Clayton. They've been some of my most loyal fan bases, and I am forever grateful for what you guys have been able to supply in my journey. So, that is going to wrap it up. Final score, Pitman 29, Clayton 13. Until December 14th or wherever we go next. From everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, my graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Liam Nolan, our social media coordinator, Anthony McClure, and our wonderful producer and executive producer of DWB, Vincent Vogt. Thanks for coming out tonight. I'm Dan Wilkins. Until next time, enjoy your turkey, enjoy your ham with your family. I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, folks.